Folks, hello. Welcome to the Talking Crit Cast. Welcome to all you money grubbers that are here only because you're hoping to catch some drive-through free cash. But in the meantime, myself and Mike popping open. Is that the community property you're popping
Yeah,
open?
so I told Derek I was unpacking boxes in the warehouse after the convention. I found this in a box. It's a bottle of Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So finders keepers, right? Isn't that how it works legally? I think.
Yeah,
so.
pretty much. Possession is 9/10 of the law.
I have no clue who left it there, but thank you very much because I had run out of my maker's mark. So we're going to go in a little different direction tonight for my palate.
Well, see, I would participate in the alcoholic drinking. However, I had some beers with my pub lunch, and
I saw
it should be good.
I saw your broadcast the other night when you were sipping your wine, and
that was
maybe you need to lay off the bubbly a little bit.
I finished that bottle. I will say that.
Oh God, I was laughing so hard.
I'm doing it going. Oh man, I think I'm sounding like I'm.
Did you watch that?
No, I haven't.
That is tip. Oh yeah, just file that one away. That's Tipsy Tenkar. I should tell you all that just do what you want to do. But sometimes I just have to tell you this stuff. I mean, it's just like, oh my God, this is great. It was great stuff. And there's James Shields. Hey man, it feels like we just saw you. We did. James is awesome too. We're gonna talk about James some. This is our NTRPG Con 13 wrap up show, and we have got so many cool stories to tell you that we told all the special guests clamoring to get on this week to just back off. We are not. Right. We are going to talk about the con because we had so much fun, and we saw so many people. And it was absolutely one of the most amazing North Texases that I have ever experienced, and I've actually been to them all. We just had a great time. I mean, the fact Doug wasn't there was awful, and that he was in the hospital, but just everybody that was there just came together as a community and a family, and it's just amazing. So we're going to talk about it. I think we're going to go chronologically, and that way we won't miss anything. As I was afraid if we jumped around, we're going to miss stuff. So we'll start at Tuesday or Wednesday and work our way through it. But we'll give people who went to North Texas are going to be here. If you want to pop in with your stories on the comments, and people who haven't been, well, why didn't you go? Because you're going to kill yourself for missing this. We had so much fun. So I'll turn it over to Eric.
Wild Eye Woodard is thanking us for the post, the videos, the photos. They experienced it all vicariously through all that. And David B was saying one year he hopes he can attend. Listen, if you can only go to one con and you're an old school gamer, this is the con to go to. Honestly, I don't know how else to put it. Is Gary Con something that should be on your bucket list? And you can say, hey, I went to the Playboy, the old Playboy estates or whatever. Yeah. But this is unique. The atmosphere is unique. And I got that from a lot of first con. I've never experienced a con like this. So I again.
We had a lot of first-time attendees, and not only of North Texas, but we had a few people that said, "Hey, I've never been to a con before," and that Doug and I had always talked about that when we started the con. We said, we want every con experience to be somebody's first con. They not only want to go back to North Texas, but they want to go to cons. They want to start going to cons. We don't want to give them a bad experience and have them say, "Oh, I don't want to go to cons anymore." That was terrible. And we pretty much had 99.9% positive feedback. So I'm
wait. There was negative feedback.
There was 1%. There's 1% issue, and honestly, it was a legitimate issue. And I am not going to belittle her because I think it was an absolute legitimate issue. And it was just an issue of timing. It was somebody that wanted to come and play a game. They came right between games on Saturday, and there was nothing going on. And it was right when the auction was going on. So usually everybody is in there doing the auction and raffle. And if I had known she was there, hey, there's Mr. Kurt Gould.
Part of the inner circle now.
Yeah.
Welcome, Kurt. You've paid your dues.
Yep. You got made fun of at the midnight auction. That's always a step to maturity there. It's the long line of steps.
Well, I don't know about maturity, but it certainly means that you've accomplished something
hold
with
on a
North
second.
Texas.
Are you seeing a big fat guy in a devil's outfit and a New York guy in a crab outfit and another guy in a Speedo? You're saying that's not mature. Is that what I'm getting here?
Well, it's for mature audiences only.
Okay, I agree with that.
I'm not saying it's mature. Okay, Fast Times at Ridgemont High was not mature, but it was rated R, right? So I think that.
Okay, I got you.
So, it's good. It's good seeing everybody in the chat. So, just so you all know, you have to actually comment to be in the running. I no longer have to have a random die roll and count back. I actually found a program or a web page called commentpicker.com, and I'm using the YouTube page within, and that is how I will generate our people to be gifted. So figure.
And why were you being gifted, Eric? What happened this weekend at the con?
We surpassed 500 subscribers. Actually, we've been picking up a few today. So 509 subscribers. I think that's great. I'd like to hit 1,000. And of course, my lovely wife Rach is like, why did you give away 500 at 500? Because now what are you going to give away at 1,000? And I said, well, at least 500, if not more. So if you get us there, we'll have more to give away. But in the meantime, tonight we're going to be giving away some stuff. And there'll be another giveaway probably in about a month or so of new Big Dragon complete collection of everything that was available at the con.
LeBlanc stuff is awesome. Yes, that is some good stuff too. Even though we only saw Richard one night, unfortunately, he had some medical issues to take care of. But we saw him. We actually saw him Wednesday night, so that was fun.
You missed him when he popped in on Sunday.
Oh, I did. That's right. He was supposed to come in Sunday. I absolutely missed him. How do you look? Look okay? So I know he
looked good.
Okay, good. I know he had surgery, so that's good.
Yeah, no, he looked good. He looked tired. Yeah. But we have one of everything that was available at the con. It's like $120, $125 retail value. There will be a giveaway later on this month, so look forward to it. I'm not sure if it'll be here or on a blog, maybe a combination of the two. I don't know, but one person is going to get the whole package. So it's going to be.
We don't need any more prizes. I mean, we got enough prizes when we to grab something over here and donate it. I mean, we're doing okay tonight, right? We got all kinds of goodies available tonight.
James wants to know: is it picked based upon the number of comments? Well, here's what I do. I filter out duplicate users, which in theory should filter out duplicate comments. No, Siri, I did not fucking ask Siri to pop up.
So, yeah, if you just say, hey, man, what's up? That's good enough. You're in the running.
You're in the running. You know, you don't have to spam the comment section.
No.
Although, listen, as always, we do this as a bit of a hex crawl or a sandbox, so your comments certainly add to it, and we will highlight them as they come through.
Yes, it is. Yes.
All right.
June 2nd through 5th. Thank you for planning ahead, Mysterious Wild Die Woodward, who I don't know who that. No, I know who that is. No, first weekend, and it'll actually be it's usually the first Thursday in June, but first weekend next year. So, yes, that is correct. June 2nd through 5th. Although Wednesday is actually a day you want to be there too.
Yes, you want to come the day before. I always come the day before, and it was Talking Crit was fucking amazing. We're gonna get.
Oh my gosh, we did live Talking Crit. It was so great. It was so
live,
incredible. Oh.
Live next to and it was literally like, all right, tap me out, like pro wrestling. Tap out Bad Mike because he has to handle. All right, we're gonna bring in. Tap out. So we had unexpected guest hosts. We had
we had Jim Kitchen. We had
and
Bill Barsh tapped in for both of us at different times. We had Jason Braun making faces at me off the side and making me laugh and just being a general. We had Dave Cook dancing in back of us. The legendary Zeb Cook lowered himself to dancing.
I don't know if it was I don't know if that was lowering himself.
I think it was.
He enjoyed himself very much.
Yeah, he hadn't actually been there in 3 years because I think his last con was 2018 or 17 because He didn't go to 2019. Obviously, nobody went last year, so he hadn't been for 3 years, and he was having a great time, wasn't he? He was so happy to be there.
He was having a blast.
Oh no, my brother showed up. Let's knock that comment off right there. Yeah, let's take care of that comment. Let's take it out. As long as there's no pictures allowed, I think we can let him in the comments. So.
Yes, Aaron the Pendantic did a video some game. He's born in North Texas. He also he interviewed Mike and I. He was really digging it. He had a live stream last night that I was participating from the chat. And he gave a shout out to the show, which was really sweet. So he does a good live stream.
I tell you, you know what that guy has that neither you or I have that you can't learn. He's got a great. Well, no, he's got a great radio voice. He just has that like not the hello, I'm radio host. I mean that's a good voice too. I love people that have a deep voice. He has the very much just a very reasonable, smooth talking voice. He can ask you questions. It just you can't teach that. I mean, you either have that voice or you don't have that voice. And
it's pretty much accent free.
Mm-hmm.
As in, pick a random comment. Just wondering if we need to be more active in the comments. James, as far as I can tell. It's a rant again. This should be our first test. Actually, we've got 18 people. We got to know that. You know what? Should we reward the people that came early and give them a better chance?
No, I mean let's just make it random. I don't.
No.
Unless you want to draw. Oh, we're gonna have a few drawings, right? Oh,
yeah. I want to do
that's a great idea, Eric. We can do one, with only the people we have on here now, so that way they have actually a chance to win even later on, but they have a better chance to win now. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, because there's less people.
I like it.
Yeah.
And we'll save the big prize for last, but we can have some little prizes.
So this is gonna be for $50.
Ooh, $50 in cold hard cash. No, wait, it's $50 in credit at drive-thru, right? So you can download some good stuff.
And in theory, this sounded great, but now it just says,
oh no!
It says, "Oops, this video has comments disabled. That means we can't get any comments from this video. Please enable comments again to do the raffle."
Oh no!
Because it's a live stream. So I'm like, here, you yap, and I'm going to do a quick Google search.
So let me see. Well, so we prepared for the con as usual. We had we got everything loaded up. Tuesday, I was working hard. Monday, Tuesday night, Doug was in the hospital. He wasn't doing good. He never did show up for the con because he's actually in ICU the whole con. But we have some good news here and there that he was doing better, and he was actually able to watch parts of the con. So that's kind of fun. But yeah, we got all ready, and then. Wednesday morning, we loaded up the trailer. We only needed 2 highly motivated teenagers to load it for us. And because we didn't take a lot of stuff this year, and then we were off and we had everything unloaded and ready to roll in it. So it was just like schmooze time all afternoon. It was great. We got everything unloaded so quickly because everybody there always helps. And so and then you always spend like your first, however many hours you're talking, you see people you haven't seen in a while. I think James Shields was one of the first people I saw because he was there pretty early.
Really?
And then I think one of the few people. And then I saw Ethan and Jeremy from RPGs on the Beach, Hawaii. They came from Paradise to Texas, which is weird. So they were there, and they came from Hawaii to party with us, which is great. And yeah, just saw people here and there. As people get in, they get off the plane. They're all, you get to say hi to a million people. So that part, I always like Wednesday night a lot. It's fun. It's fun just getting everything. You get everything set up, and then you're just kind of like, okay, nothing's really planned tonight. We're just going to hang out, get to talk to people. Although we did have an activity plan that night. Well, we had to do talk and crit. That was the one thing, we were going to do a live talk and crit. And then we had a whiskey tasting, courtzy of Chris Todgel later on. But
God.
That was fun. That was super fun. That
was a night that never ended.
We had the talking crit was, if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. It's great. It's fun. We're just like absolutely shooting the shit and just hanging out and having a great time. Everybody's laughing and just partying. And every time there's an interruption, it's always worked into the show. And we had a good time. And we had a few really cool guest stars just pop in. We're just walking through the hall because we were set up at the back of the vendor hall. So yeah, and so I got my vendor table set up. I got my grandson all fixed up, working the table. We had a pretty good. We were full. The vendor hall was full. Now it's not very big. I want to say there's, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's probably 12 vendors in the hall. There's not a lot, but we actually have a secondary vendor hall too with about, I think, 4 or 5 other vendors. But all the vendors are great. They're all these people that you definitely want to see at a con. It was Black Blade, Etten Games, Ben Burns Company, Rogue Common or whatever they're called, and then the Barshes were there with Pace Setter. We had a guy doing maps that was Cave Geek, and I'm going to forget a name here. I just know. Oh, and LeBlanc's table was set up. Big Dragon Games, and this is where I forget the other 2 guys were set up, and I feel stupid. But we had one guy doing dice bags, and I don't remember their name. Oh, we had the guys we had the RPGs on the Beach guys set up.
Oh yeah,
I think that was it. I can't remember the dice bag guy. I'm feeling terrible. It was the guy in the corner.
I never got a chance to talk to the dice bag guy.
So
of course I'm gonna blame James Shields for this. So
okay,
what's? Oh my god, and I've fallen behind on fucking comments. It's like I get my face buried in the computer there.
You would think we hadn't done this in like a month rather than just like a week, because it's rapidly devolving into a shit show. Rapidly.
Well, no, it's always been a shit show. Okay. It didn't evolve into anything.
You're absolutely true. You're true. I don't know why I would think otherwise.
No, it's like, and of course, there's nothing. And
if you watch the show, boy, I'm glad you guys are here reminding me of this. We had the Porn Star Tequila, that was an experience. So the first thing I taste the con, do I taste good whiskey? No. Do I taste good scotch? No. Do I taste a nice little craft beer? No. First thing is Steve Marsh gives me a copy, a bottle of a discontinued tequila, saying maybe we can sell it at the con. I have to explain to Mr. Marsh, the lawyer, that you cannot sell booze at a con. That's illegal. So we ended up with all these bottles of this tequila. It was, I don't remember the name of it. Maybe I thrown it in a dumpster, but it was a apple flavored tequila. Now roll that around your brain a little bit. Apple flavored tequila. And you're probably thinking, that sounds terrible. And it was absolutely awful. It was real syrupy. It was not a shot drink. You do not drink the shots. It did not taste anything like tequila. It was something that you add to other drinks when you make a drink, basically. And we drank it a little bit just to try it. If you watch the video, you'll see us wincing as we drink it. Now that was awful. But luckily, later on that evening, we had something that was going to help us out a lot, and that was Chris's whiskey tasting.
Oh yeah.
So it was me and Eric. Let me see. Jason Braun.
The whiskey was only whiskey, bourbon, scotch.
I have the list here somewhere. I misplaced the list. It was who was? Glenn Hallstrom was there. Glenn. Who was sitting next to me? Was that Levi? No. Who was sitting right next to me? Oh my gosh, I've already forgotten.
What was that? Ty?
Yeah, Ty Beard, lawyer extraordinaire, Ty Beard. And like I said, Jason Braun. I don't remember. Oh, and Rach was at the table, and I don't remember who. There was a couple, maybe 1 or 2 other people, and so Chris had made this. Just went way overboard. Made this really cool. So you open this wooden thing, and there was this like a little thing you'd store potions in, and there was these 6 vials in there. They were only labeled 1 through 6. Chris had the list. He knew which were which. And so we opened them one at a time. We sniffed them, we tasted them, and then we would write down comments. Did it taste like turpentine? Did it smell like old shoes? Whatever you thought. And so once we did all of them, then we do it. We have to guess, which we liked best. And then he said, okay, here's the 6 whiskeys, which is which. And so except for 2, one was awful. Thai beer, I thought it tasted awful, and we guessed immediately because once we found out it was it Killian's Red? I can't remember. It's just the worst whiskey you could ever have, and so yeah, we both knew immediately that was bad. But one was terrible. And then we had another one. It was a chili flavored whiskey. It wasn't bad, but it was very spicy and very hot. So those 2 were easy to guess. The other 4 weren't as easy, and they range anywhere from a $10 bottle of bourbon to $30 or $40. But we had fun, man. That was great because you really realize how much you rely on context. You see about this bottle of whiskey, cost $50. Oh, it's probably going to be good. In your mind, you make it good, right?
Right.
When you see a $10 bottle, you're like, oh, it's probably not very good. So your mind, you make that like it's not that great. But once you eliminate all the context, sometimes it's really hard to tell if is this a good or a bad whiskey, except for the red, the Killian's, whatever that was. That was just absolute awful. And then the chili powder one was not wouldn't be something I would drink normally. Let's put it that way. But yeah, we had.
It was good. It was good though.
It was fun. We had some nice whiskeys there. We had some expensive ones, some really tasty ones. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. We were getting a little. I mean, by the last one you get a little tipsy because you've had all these different shots of whiskey, and then some people like Glenn weren't finishing their whiskey, and so I was forced to finish all Glenn's whiskeys too. Forced at gunpoint.
At gunpoint.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I kept on drinking. No, that was Thursday. Yeah, I kept on drinking that night. That was that was a rough night.
That's the one thing about cons too. So I don't think I did better than some years. I never went to bed at 4:00. There was a couple nights I wanted to stay up till 3:00. But in the past, I've had cons where I stay up to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I just ain't doing that anymore. Not at my age, and not the way haven't been taking care of myself the last couple of years. I could not do that. So I made sure at least at 3:00 I was heading to the bedroom to get some sleep.
Right.
So yeah, and the bar would close down. I think the bar closed at 1:30, and they would always be drinking in the main room.
They closed at 2. And I think, so we had the whiskeys there, and then we had whiskeys at your booth, and then we had somebody else poured me something, and I think I was at 5 drinks before I got to the bar.
Boy, Bob already wants to hear about the food poisoning. That's not till Thursday night, man. Come on, you're jumping ahead. You got to pace yourself. Pace yourself. Apparently, when I'm looking at, you can't use any of these random things in a goddamn live stream. So, of course, because the comments in the live stream. Have you been counting up till now? Did you count anybody's comments?
No.
Oh no. Did you count how many people are in the room? I mean, I guess
what I can do instead of having to look at all the comments here. Oh yeah, because none of the comments show up on the channel because they're not real comments until after this fucker is over, I guess.
Oh boy. Well, what are we gonna do then? What do we got?
All right, so what we can do it, and I'm assuming that the comments are then valid at the end. Here, let me look at the prior live streams. No. All right, so comments made during a live stream are live stream only. So we're going to have to go back to doing it the horribly
old-fashioned way.
Rolling
the bones.
But here's the thing, and this is going to keep it kind of fair. I'm not going to announce before we're going to do it. I'm just going to go, all of a sudden I'm going to go, bam. And when I go like, bam, it'll be like, whoever just, the last comment, and then Mike will roll a D20. I hope they have a D20.
Probably one somewhere in the warehouse. Let's see.
Right,
probably have one right here. Oh, I do. I got to roll 20. I got 20 right here. I got die 6.
All right. So that keeps it honest. And I will skip, repeat. Well, actually, if nobody knows,
can you go back to the beginning and write everybody's name down that's commented so far, and we can just make a real quick list. And then as each new person comes in, we can add them to the list.
Well, I guess theoretically, Mike, depending on how much talking you have in you. Not like you can't put a gun to my head and make me talk, I guess. But so anyway, Wednesday night we had that's our open game night. You can bring any game to play. There's some games scheduled. We have chariots, we have gladiators, but we also have whoever wants to set up a game board. We don't usually schedule board games, but we will for Wednesday night. You can just and also what's cool about Wednesday night is you don't have to pay to show up. You just show up, and that's true.
You just show up and game that night. If you just want to show up that night and never show up again, you can do that. You don't have to ever show up again. So James, unfortunately, Frog God Games did not set up at the convention. And we'll have to ask Zach why that was. But there was no Frog God Games display at the convention. Although I did bring some Frog God products, and so did Ben Burns. We had some. But we did not have the absolutely kick-ass Swords of Wizardry white box, or the new Swords of Wizardry box set or anything. So that was we dropped the ball on that one. That's something we should have definitely had Frog Gods selling more stuff there. I know, James. I said the same thing. I said, no Swords and Wizardry box set at the convention? Like, nope, we didn't have one. So, but we did have some stuff. We did have some. We did have Raven Reach and the other one, James. I had those in my booth. Raven Reach and Raven Rock or whatever. So, but yeah, so it's what's fun is the first couple of days there is you got to check out all the dealers because you don't want to hit that room like on Friday or Saturday because it's already been picked over. The collectors have picked it over, so you got to get in there early. So I went over to Black Blade Publishing. I grabbed a couple of things I've been looking for. One was Gunderholfen, which is a mega dungeon. I love mega dungeons. Another one was Gabber Lux put out a mega dungeon called Castle Cetilion.
Yes,
I picked that up and wanted to read that. That's for lower. It's the mega dungeon for lower levels, and then he also has like a fanzine he puts out that has like adventures and all kinds of information. So he puts one out every quarter, I think. So I picked up a bunch of those, and honestly, that was pretty much my buying for the whole weekend. I was so busy, I really didn't have enough time to go around and look at other stuff. I wanted to buy a lot of stuff, but I also didn't want to spend a lot of money this time. But so I bought a few things that I'd kind of been looking for. And then after that, I mean, I saw some other stuff. It was great. It's just that it wasn't on my list. I've been backing a lot of Kickstarters lately. I didn't have a lot of extra cash actually. Okay, so Castle,
that's part of the problem too.
Castle's Italian is great. Good. I haven't read that one yet, James. By the way, James Spawn was talked about a lot because the man boob incident was brought up more than once at the con. So. James, Etten Games was selling a Swords and Wizardry box set, but that was the only one at the con. That was literally the only one at the con. I almost bought it, so I've got two coming to me. I bought two already, so I didn't want to buy another one. The Gabbers Fancy. What's the name of that, John Willard? Do you remember the name of that? I can't remember. I bought a whole bunch of those, though. I got a stack of them. They're really good. Now, if I was more prepared, I would have all my purchases here and be able to show you, but I'm not very prepared. Because I've been working doing my inventory. All these boxes behind me, these white boxes right there, that's what I brought. And there's another shelf too. So after the convention's over, I do it old school. I have to do inventory. I go through each box item by item. And then I do it against a master sheet and I check off what I sold. That's the only way I know what I sold. So it takes me a few days to do my inventory. But just from looking preliminary, apparently magazines did really good for me this time. And so did old school stuff, man. Anything I had that was a mono cover, it just flew out of there. Anything old school, all my first edition books. I mean, they're high on old school stuff, man. Anything old school is very, very, very popular there. The dealer room would have been terrible, David, for your wall. It's not a lot of dealers, but like for instance, Mike Wu was there. I forgot Elf Games or whatever they call it. Yeah, Mike Wu was there. So between me, Mike Wu, Etten, and then Ben Burns, you could find about anything you need to find there, really, because myself, Mike, and David carry old stuff. So there was a lot of old school there. We had I actually can show you this if I can find it. We had a con module. It was called. Well, let me see if it's right over here. Let me pull it and I can show you what it looked like. If I don't fall down or hurt my head.
Don't fall down and hurt your head.
Yeah, man, we're so professional, man. This is amazing. How professional we are. Yeah. So here we go. So this was our con module done by Tom Wilson and Matt Roberts. It's called A Present Peril. It is actually an Immortals BX module. You don't see those very often, and they want to do something that you don't see very often. So Matt did the cover, very psychedelic. It's not very big. It's only 12 pages. They're all signed and numbered. There was 100 of them. We had some of those to sell. So I've got so much stuff to read after this is over. It's not even funny. What else? What else did I buy? I didn't buy a whole bunch of stuff. That was about it.
All right, Mark,
First.
give me a D20 roll.
All right.
And a 19 or 20 is a reroll. We got
19.
19.
Okay.
Reroll. Reroll.
3.
3. Gerard 253. So $50.
Gerard 253. Who's Gerard 253? You still here? You still here, Gerard 253? Whoever you are. Gerard 253 wins $50. Drive-through RPG. Nice. Okay. Hopefully he's here and it can see he's won. And Eric will contact you.
Well, actually, you'll have to contact me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
you'll have to contact me.
You have to email me at tankarstavern@gmail.com. But if you're still here, you should pop up in the comments. Woo, he is. So Gerard, send me an email.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. We started off. We're already giving away cash. I like it. So anyway, I talked a long time there, Eric. What do you got going? What did you have going Wednesday? We covered Wednesday. What else besides the whiskey tasting, the live crit?
The surprise that I was able to wake up Friday morning after that whiskey tasting.
Thursday morning.
Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Well, no. Okay. Well, actually, I'm going ahead. Wednesday, I got into fucking Dallas so early it was disgusting. And I was surprised. Listen, there's a lot of complaints about the hotel because, well, it's the world of COVID, right? So they're operating at less staff. Some of the comments, by the way, Mike, from the staff were great. Holy shit! Good. Yeah, no. I mean, it's like you say, "Have a good night." Yeah, well, I work here.
Oh, that's not good.
I was like, oh, that is painfully accurate. Yes, you work here. So, Wednesday, though, they had a room for us at 10:45 in the morning. And I can't say how great that is that you can get to the hotel before 11 a.m. and they get you a room. Now, things that people didn't know, because they didn't tell us when we checked in, is that there was, if you wanted maid service, you had to tell them you wanted maid service. Yeah. Not, usually, my first 2 or 3 days, I don't need maid service. But as you may guess from this live stream, I tend to be full of shit. And as the days go on, I need toilet paper because we don't have enough toilet paper. Yeah. And I wound up stealing it from the men's room by the convention area.
Well, I was upgraded to a suite. So I actually had 2 bathrooms and 2 rolls of paper in each bathroom. So I was okay. But yeah, that's part of they're not the only hotel that does it that way nowadays. This is a post-COVID thing, or actually it's a COVID thing they still haven't got rid of, where they won't actually come into your room. You have to schedule room cleaning. And my wife hates that because she likes to go to a hotel and she likes to be waited on, have the bed made, and have fresh towels there, and so none of that happens nowadays at any hotels. They want you to do all the hard work, basically. If you want towels, you have to ask them. If you want your room cleaned, you got to let them know. So it's a post-COVID society thing. Hopefully it's gonna go back the way it was eventually, where you could actually go to a hotel and have be waited on. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah. So John Miller, Eric's TP Heist Adventure. You know what? Don't tempt me, because I might have to write something like that up for ShireCon. That's coming up in September.
And we saw Mr. Tom Wilson. We saw there, who is I got excited for ShireCon. I can't even go, and I was pumped up because he's pumped up, and he's going to put on a great convention again. And he found out that Steve Marsh is going to be on the Appalachian Trail during ShireCon. So looks like ShireCon's going to have Steve Marsh as a guest. That's going to be great. I wish I could go. That sounds so fun. I can't go. Before you say anything, Eric, I can't go. I got Game Whole Con, and I got week on the beach in November. I can't.
Oh, all right.
I can't squeeze another trip in. I wish I could squeeze another trip in because I will love, of all the cons that are out there, I would love to go to either ShireCon and or AppleCon, which is Lloyd Metcalf's con, which I think he's going to have this year again too. So it's good to see cons come back. I mean, I'm glad we keep hearing this. I'll tell you what, that's something we'll get into too, is that there was a lot of people there, and they were spending a lot of money because people were tired of being stuck at home, and they wanted to get out. They wanted a game. The games were all full. I mean, it was standing room only for most games. I mean, you could sit down at a table with a rule book, and boom, there'd be 8 people around the table with you. Like, okay, what are you gonna run? What are you gonna run? What are you gonna run? I mean, everybody was ready to play games, and that's great. I mean, they were people just online gaming is great. We have an online track in North Texas, but there is nothing like being around a table with a bunch of live people. It really.
No, it really. And here's the thing. Usually the boards where people are putting up late games or still looking for players, people were hitting those boards. I mean, Ty Beard was running some Traveler games. Now, the first one, I don't think he got a bite for. He only put it up on the board like an hour before it was started to kick off. But the rest of his games were all. He got players from all. He was psyched.
So Thursday is the first real day of the con, but the gaming really doesn't start heavy until the afternoon. And I had a first on Thursday. Well, I had 2 firsts. Number one, I didn't run a game for the first time of any since year 1. And that was because I had planned this even before Doug got sick. I just wanted to hang out and talk to people, meet people. And now I was glad I didn't do it because I probably would have had to cancel it because there was just so much going on. But then the fun part for me was I got to host the special guest dinner. And I have never been to a special guest dinner because I'm always working the table. So Gary worked the table, and I ended up doing the dinner. And that was pretty fun. I actually got to have fajitas and hang out at a table with Matt Gullett and Eddie from Long Con and Jeff Talanian, is just an awesome dude, man. He's so fun to talk to, man. He just knows so much about gaming. And also we had Ben Burns at the table, so we had a fun little table there. We talked quite a bit about gaming, but Jeff was there. It was great to see Jeff. We hadn't seen Jeff in a few years. I mean, that was one thing, you hadn't seen these guys in a couple of years for most part, except for online. So it was fun to finally see him in person again. That's kind of made the whole con, the fact you can see these guys for the first time in however many years.
I was hugging people left and right, and I mean, I'm not. Listen, Mike and I, we hug because it's us.
I'm Italian. He's Irish, so you hug.
Yeah, well, I'm married Irish. It might as well
you're married. Yeah, you're married.
Yeah,
same.
But like when I hit my head in the on the plane, getting off the plane in New York. That overhead hit me in the head 3 times because people were just dying to get their luggage out. But so I was like, wow, they really like you. And I'm like, I'm married Irish. My head got thick. So
Thursday was our first real day of gaming. Trying to think, my big moment Thursday was kind of weird because I had Alex Kamer, the dude that runs Gamehole Con, you may have heard of him. He's written stuff like Sea King's Malice. He's written a few other items. He runs the Gamehole, which is one of the greatest collections in North America. He's got every single thing ever published by TSR and Shrink, and I mean that. And he has multiple copies too. So he was there. We're both big basketball fans. You might remember he was on the show a few weeks ago, and we talked a little basketball. He's a Milwaukee Bucks fan. I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan. Anyway, the Mavericks are in the playoffs, and they had a game 6 in Dallas that night. And he asked me if I wanted to go to the game. And I said, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I was being real wishy-washy. So he left for about an hour, came back and said, we got tickets to the game. We're going. I'm like, all right. So that was my evening. I didn't about 7 o'clock. I left and didn't get back to past midnight. Unfortunately, the Mavericks lost the game. But yeah, we had a great time. We had courtside seats, Eric. I mean, I
figured that.
Yeah.
I said, listen, there's no way this man is going to be going.
No,
he's not going to be nosebleeds. He's not going to. No. He's going to be right there.
His words to me were, "Life's too short to have bad seats at sporting events." And I think that life's too short to have bad whiskey. Life's too short to eat bad food, and life's too short to have bad seats and sporting events. He was absolutely correct. So yeah, we had a ball. We had a blast, and so that was me all evening. Now, I did something that was going to lead to repercussions later. I was very hungry because I only had a couple bites to eat that day, and we're on our way back. I said, "Man, I've got to have something to eat before I go to bed." And we stopped by McDonald's, and I don't go to McDonald's. I don't like McDonald's, but there was nothing else open. I'd have gone to Whataburger because I love Whataburger. That's Texas's, big fast food place, Whataburger. We stopped at McDonald's, and I had a quarter pounder with cheese. That would have repercussions the next day. So I'm going to throw this to Eric for the rest of Thursday night because by Thursday night, I was gone. I was gone all the time. So what did you end up doing Thursday night?
Thursday night, I'm trying to think. So Thursday. All right, so Thursday wasn't the. I thought that you went out Friday. No, because you were sick. Because you were sick for the auction. So that was your Friday.
Oh, I missed some nights. You're right. I went out Friday night. What did we do Thursday night? I lost. Okay, so I jumped ahead.
We drank like fucking fish on Thursday night, Mike. So here's
Thursday
the thing.
night was Thursday. Thursday night was the whiskey.
Thursday night was the whiskey taste.
God bless. I have already forgotten. We drank so much. I was so loaded.
Huge.
Okay, let's redo this. Wednesday night was Talking Crit broadcast.
Yes.
Thursday night was the whiskey taste.
Yes.
And Friday night was the Mavericks game. Good Lord.
Right.
I am so turned around but I'll tell you what, after Thursday night, I didn't drink again the whole con because I woke up Saturday morning with food poisoning and it was bad. It was really bad. To the point where I did not think I was going to be able to do the auction or the midnight auction. And I thought the only way I'm going to be able to get this done is if I just lay down and let nature take its course and take some meds and just hopefully not get too sick. So I'm sorry, I did miss them today. So Thursday night was whiskey tasting. Friday. Right. So what happened Friday? Friday was just a day of hanging out. When did you have your first game? When was
Saturday morning. Well, Saturday morning was my first game.
Well, what did you do Friday? Friday.
Friday, I was still a free agent. I was helping your grandson at the table occasionally.
That's right. You did. Thanks a lot for that. You helped out. That was very helpful for you to do that. So
mostly what I was doing was like, listen, I'm in the area. You need me? Just say, tag me in, and he'd be like, yeah, I need these. The bathroom, like, yeah, go. It's like, hey, I made $6 from Mike. Woohoo! Please don't just cash only, right? Cash only, because I'm locked. First, I couldn't get the damn till open. I couldn't the lock. I'm like,
I heard about this. Yes.
This thing fucking open up, son of a bitch. But I looked at all the vendor tables. There was a lot of good stuff. Who's the guy who had all the tanned leather maps?
That was Cave Geek maps. That's awesome. Oh, yeah, I can't afford them, but they were great.
Yes, I was literally falling in love with it. It was amazing. By the way, we have 29 people watching the live stream as we talk.
However, might die 30.
No, only 22 people have commented. So I got a few people who have not commented.
Come on, people, you got to comment.
If you don't comment, I can't add you to the list.
Nope.
I mean, we even have Bad Mike's brother on the list. You don't want that fucker winning.
No.
Come on.
No, he'll do something really grody with that stuff. He won't get game stuff on drive-thru. He'll find the porn section of drive-thru. I don't know if they have a porn section, but he'll find it if there's one there. Well, it's actually Wenger probably has some stuff there, so he'll find the Wenger section of
the Wenger section.
By the way, I almost put a couple of Wenger's games in the midnight auction, and I forgot them, Eric. I left them at the warehouse, so we missed that. They'd have been perfect for the midnight auction. So they screwed up.
And again, I've said this elsewhere. I will say this again. Yes, Wenger's Alpha Blue is not for me. It's 70s porno shit. But his classical fantasy stuff, when he was doing that stuff, it was top notch. He himself might be a little, flaky over the top. When shock jocks go bad in gaming.
Okay, I need to stop this right now because I've seen a few comments that Whataburger ain't that great. It ain't that great. Go fuck your mother. Whataburger is the best fast food hamburger out there. It's better than In-N-Out garbage. It's better than any other. It's the best fast food hamburger that is made. So I don't. It's born and bred and raised in Texas, Corpus Christi, Texas, where it started. I don't want to hear any of this. Whataburger ain't that great. It is. It's good stuff.
Fridge on the door.
And then all the other ones just stick up in the
Oh, Eric's got a second conversation there. So no more. If you have any more Whataburger ain't that great stuff, I'm kicking your ass off here. You better cut that shit.
No, what happened is that I somehow forgot what day was, and I placed it in Amazon Fresh order, thinking I was ordering for yesterday, and it wound up being for today.
Oh.
So Rach has been kind enough to put away the food, but yeah,
So anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead, but yeah, if any more Whataburger ain't that great comments, I may just boot your ass off here. I don't want to hear this shit. So don't test me, man. Do not test me after the con.
Test them. Because listen, you don't want to test them at the con because you can get thrown out.
No, yeah, by the way, speaking of the con, just a little shout out. Gary did a great job. Doug's best friend was there. Doug's son David was there. Of course, Rob battled out. I don't know why we have him on staff, but we do. Ran. I think Robert Robert would attest this. Those were the best chariot racing games we'd ever had at the con. I mean, every single one was full. Every heat was full, and there was plenty of dead horses, broken chariots, crushed bodies, blood everywhere. It was absolutely the best chariot racing we've ever had in North Texas. And we had a lot of people that played for the first time, and a lot of people said, "Yeah, I'm definitely doing chariot racing, next year." We have some beautiful trophies too. Did you ever see those trophies? The ones that Diesel LaForge did. For those who don't know, Diesel's not just a great cartographer. He's a sculptor. He does sculpting. So he's sculpted us a new Gladiator trophy and a new chariot racing trophy, and they're both really nice. Oh my, Eric, they're really cool.
Timothy, you're close. You're in Denton. You're close enough to. Do you want these guys to actually do the convention on your lawn? Come on, you're in Denton. All right. I don't know Texas well, but I know Denton's pretty damn close. Okay, I'm coming from New York, so I mean, I don't know how much easier you want it, but it ain't gonna get that much easier. Jeez.
Yeah, if you're in the DFW area and you're not going, you're really missing out. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you except you have one of the best conventions in the United States in your backyard, and you're just completely ignoring it. Unless you have a really big excuse, that I would not miss the convention if you're that close. Definitely. Liz and Mike Stewart are from Denton, and they come. It's easy for them to get there. So if they can get there, everybody else can get here. So, I
hugged the shit out of both of them. I mean, God. Yeah. I mean, again. See me at a convention. I haven't seen you in a while. The year I had last year.
I hear you. We saw we had like a little artist alley area. So we had Darlene was there, Diesel LaForce was there, Chris Clark and his wife were there, Mike and Liz Stewart. Oh, Janelle Jaquays and her wife Becky were there, which I hadn't seen them in even more than 2 years because they had moved to Seattle 3 or 4 years ago. I hadn't seen them in 4 or 5 years. So that was cool to see them. They have moved back to Texas. So I got Janelle to sign a few things that I did not. I think Janelle signed every single thing I have by her except for the 2 things I brought to get signed. And then Skeeter was there with the small publishers booth, which is really cool. Because a lot of small publishers like Levi Combs, Ian and Rocky, all these guys had given him stuff to sell at the table. And so he had a really, really good collection of stuff. It was just cool seeing all these people there. Probably the one thing we didn't have a lot of this year was artists, and that's because Errol stayed home and then Easley stayed home. But yeah, it was. Other than that, we had tons of great famous people there to get. I mean, I saw people signing stacks of stuff. One guy brought Steve Winter like a stack like that big of second edition hardbacks up, and I had not had Zeb sign my second edition hardback, so I've got my second edition hardbacks now are signed by Easley, Cook, and Winter. So I'm in hog heaven, man. That's awesome. So when I pull those out to play, I'm just gonna boom, here you go. Look, check it out, bitches. Got it signed by the creators of 2E. So that was cool. I had a few things I didn't have signed that I actually got signed. You think if you run a convention, you'd have everything you have signed, but there's a lot of people that run conventions don't like to get their stuff signed. I didn't do it the first 3 years. And I thought, you know what am I doing? Let's just get them to sign it. I mean, they're here and they want to sign stuff. So I started getting all my stuff signed, and I've got a pretty good signed collection someday to leave behind.
God bless.
Plus, I just like to look at their SIGs when I look at stuff. So,
Mike, do you have a D6 and a D20?
I do, sir.
All right. I need a D6 and a D10, a D3 and a D10.
So you need
D20 will be
1 through 40.
No. I need
1 through 30.
1 through 30, and we're not counting 26 and above.
Okay.
That's a real.
16. No, I'm sorry, 26. You said you're not counting 26 and above?
26 and above, no good. Reroll.
Let's see. 29. Here we go. Here we go.
$100. $100 in drive-through.
13.
Lucky number 13. You know what? The last person that fucking needs it too. Zach Laser.
Oh, come on.
No, that's good.
Is that really Zach? Did he? I didn't even see him pop in here.
Yeah, no, he was making fun of you too.
What does he need more shit for? At least it's drive-through and it's not Frog God. That'd have been hilarious. Zach wins $100 of the Frog God stuff.
Oh, yeah. If it was $100 Frog God stuff, it'd be like, yeah, just go into your own fucking down. That would have been.
Oh, that's what Robert says. True. That's even worse than me winning. It is. It's worse. Look at all this. Congratulations. Like fuck Zach. So we said. Yeah, Zach was there. We saw the Frog God. Zach and Matt Finch were there. That was cool to see them for the first time in a while. I stay in touch with them. I still had not seen them in person since last year. They actually came last year, so I saw them last year. But that was cool to see them too. So Friday, we went through a thing. Changed my story about Thursday night to Friday night. So Friday night, I went to the basketball game. I had McDonald's on the way back. Woke up the next day, and I was not in good shape, folks. And I knew immediately it was food poisoning because I've had food poisoning a few times in my life. That's exactly what this was. I didn't have a temperature. I knew what it was. So I called down to Gary and said, look, I'm going to sleep until noon. The auction's not till 4. I think I can make it. But I just as a backstop, I thought, we have Jim Kitchen here, and he does auctions at Gary Con, at Gen Con. So I asked Jim to step in because that's just what this convention's like. Everybody's friends, right? Everybody's cool. And he said, yeah, I'll do the auction. Or I'll help you do the auctions. Like, perfect. So once that was covered, I knew no matter what would happen, I would definitely make the midnight auction. I was not going to miss midnight auction unless I was throwing up blood, projectile vomiting blood. That was going to be it.
The Exorcist. Awesome.
Yeah. So that was me. So I totally noped out of Saturday. So what did you do Saturday? Until 4:00, I was out of the picture.
Saturday, thanks to our very own James Shields. And listen, let's be honest with you. James was right. Mentioned in our Discord server, it's like, oh, see that you don't have anything planned. I'm like, no, I'm not playing anything. Because I have an open slot in my Saturday morning Star Wars game. And I'm like, oh, all right. Well, I'll after we hang out, I'll sign up for it after we finish the hangout on Discord. 9 to 11 Thursdays Eastern time. And 2 minutes later, he's like, oh, I thought we were friends on tabletop, whatever the interface is. He goes, I added you to the game. I went, oh. So I was actually in a game, and James ran fucking awesome game. What I didn't know during the game is that our very own Glenn Hallstrom's grandson was in the game. He was the kid who decided that, oh, let me go over the Stormtroopers radio and ask, where are we in the universe right now? and I accept what he was. I was like, this is not a good idea. I know it, but I was like, all right, we'll let this young man, because you can't. He's at the age where if I was him, I would have been pissed off if somebody told me, oh, it's a dumb idea. So I was like, you know what? You got to play out your own dumb idea. So he played it out, and then everybody knew where the fuck we were because, hi, this is Stormtrooper 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Could anybody tell me where we are exactly in the universe right now? What's in your star system? Who the hell is this? Oops. It was classic, though. It was classic.
Oh,
but what was more classic was hanging out with Glenn and a fellow New Yorker from Long Island on Saturday night for barbecue. And I'm telling this story, not realizing it was Glenn's grandson until Sunday morning. When I see Glenn and you make gauge, I was like, you said he played with you. I went, oh, fuck. No, listen, the kid did great. And just that one moment, you just saw where it was going. You knew. You just think, this is not what we want. Oh, by the way, I played a failed Jedi. So whenever as James Spawn would know, whenever I play a failed Jedi, they've got to be an alcoholic because a sex nympho not going to work in the con game anyway. But hey, alcoholic, perfect for a failed Jedi. He's a little slow. He's a little old. He's a little drunk. Come on. Then after that, I played in Ty Beard's Football Dynasty playtest. And I'll be honest with you, and if Ty watches this later, Ty, I'm being very honest, I went into it with low expectations because I have playtested shit for people at North Texas and known people in the gaming industry, and initial playtests were always, what's the best way I could put it? They suck shit, really. All right, so you're like,
yeah, don't hold back. Don't hold back.
But I'll be honest, within the first 15 minutes, I grasped the game, and then within 20, I was like, I gotta go. I gotta play another season of this shit. We gotta go 10 seasons. Come on. Roll those fucking dice, man. I won the Super Bowl the first year. I wanted to make a comeback.
Oh, dear. No wonder. Yeah.
And no, it was actually very well written, very well balanced. It's a keeper. So I'd love to see where it goes.
Awesome. Well, so I was able to start. I was up in my room suffering. I thought, you know what? This is stupid. I need to be down there. If I'm going to projectile vomit, I need to be doing it with my friends or on my friends. I mean, that'd be better.
That would be the midnight auction.
So I got down there, and once I started walking around and I drank a ton of water, I started feeling much better and probably eating half a box of Pepto tablets. I felt much better walking around. So I was able to go get all the auction stuff ready. We got that going. And we had a great auction. We had the best auction we've ever had money-wise. Jim Kitchen did it. The guy is an absolute treasure. If you have not seen the auction at Gary Con, he does that. He's just a professional. I'm not a professional. I'm a clown. I'm an absolute clown when I do auctions. I mean, that's that's why I'm so great at the midnight auction, because it's Satan. There's a guy dressed in devil suit doing an auction. I do that great. Real auctions, I'm okay at. Jim was an absolute treasure. And so we did the auction, and we were able to raise over $20,000. And now let me put this in perspective. We're talking about a convention with 400 people there.
Yep.
400 people. And we raised over $20,000. We had some really good items there, though. I think everything went for as much or over what it should have gone for. We had some, what did we have that was we had some really cool stuff. We had a lot of shrink wrap stuff. We had some early Dungeon Geomorph shrink wrap. Those were pretty nice. We had a really beautiful copy of GDQ 1-7 Queen of the Spiders. It was rated by Bill Meinhardt as very fine plus, which I was mad at because I thought it was I thought it was maybe possibly near mint minus. But matter of fact, I think he said very fine. Maybe just said very fine. I don't know. But it was extremely high quality. Now I can't remember what we had that was he rated as near mint minus. That went for quite a bit. And now I can't remember which one that was. But yeah, Bill Meinhardt was there, one of the foremost collectors in North America. He was grading the stuff, so that was awesome too. Because if he graded it at Very Fine Plus, it was Very Fine Plus. I mean, this guy that's just what he is and what he does. And so that was great to have him helping. Everybody it was really cool because everybody pulled in and did it, helped each other. It was great.
Right.
But yeah, we had some pretty high ticket items. The biggest item of the night was we had Jeff Easley painted us one of his amazing portraits, and that went for $5,500. And it was really nice. I mean, that was usually Jeff will start a painting on Wednesday and paint on it and then finish it Saturday, and we'll auction that off. This one he started work on, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago. So imagine the master having, more than 3 days. He had, 20 days. It was absolutely amazing picture. Went for $5,500. Yeah. I mean, that auction was great. I mean, the raffle was, we had some great raffle stuff too. We made a lot of money in the raffle, but yeah, the auction to make that much was insane. Some of the stuff was just going for insane prices. At least I thought.
Jim Kitchen is an amazing auctioneer. And I actually pulled him aside later on Saturday, and I was like, I told him, I go, Jim, I've been to every auction at North Texas, and I've been to auctions at other conventions, and this was the best I've seen done. And I said, not just because you're a good auctioneer, but you know how to play your audience. You know how to get them into it. And he was his hand job of Vecna joke.
That was another good thing. That was a great thing, is that he is not allowed to do this kind of jokes at either Gen Con or Gary Con, but he knew with this group of knuckleheads we had there, that stuff would play perfectly. So yeah, we had hard-on jokes, we had hand job of Vecna jokes. I mean, and he even told me later, he goes, man, I've been wanting to use that hand job of Vecna joke for like years, but I can't do it at those other conventions. But the pervos at our convention, well, no. I mean, he felt home enough to use those to do it at our convention. But you're right, he can read his audience perfectly. He knew exactly, what to do and when to do it. So that was part of being a great auctioneer. But yeah, we had a absolutely incredible auction. I want to show you this. So you remember this? This was one of our frequent guests, Matt Roberts, did this work right here. Let me see if you can see this. So. This is set in the psychedelic style of the 60s and 70s rock posters. It's Satan. There's my brother with a Speedo on in the corners. And you notice instead of names of rock bands there, it has the names of all our special guests that came to the con. It's just an amazing work. So he did 2 of these. One of them we get to keep here. The other one, I ran around and got it signed by all the special guests. So imagine this and all these, Darlene, Alan Hammock, Janelle Jaquays, Diesel LaForce, Steve Marsh, Merle Rasmussen, Steve Winter, Christopher Clark, Zeb Cook, Matt Finn. I mean, who's who of the greatest people in gaming signed this, and I think it went for $1,200, and that was, thank you so much for Matt for that. That was just absolutely amazing that he did that for us. But it looks beautiful.
Is there a picture? Someone says, is there a picture or a link to the Easley painting? I know.
Yes, if you go to the North Texas RPG Con page on Facebook, it's featured probably on that page. Also, I think Jeff put it up on his own art page on Facebook. So there's 2 places you can see it. It's basically a giant Easley red dragon with a skeleton warrior with a giant axe on it. It's very cool, riding the dragon. So it looks pretty darn cool. Who won the Bill Meinhardt won the poster. The Easley painting was won by Alberta Chulik, and Alberta is a huge Jeff Easley fan. She won one of the Easley paintings we auctioned off last year, and she's become an absolute Easley fanboy, and so she had to have this one also. But basically, she spends all her vacation money every year now on Easley paintings. But think about it: a vacation's temporary. An Easley painting is on your wall is forever. So that's not a bad trade-off, considering these are works of art. So that we had a great time. That was great. And then after that, I was a little tired out. I had to rest again until midnight. We had to get all our stuff planned. So what did you end up doing Saturday evening, I guess?
Went out to dinner. I said with the.
Oh, you went to the barbecue. Did you go to Hard 8?
No, we went to some other bar. It was good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. I think it's one of Grapevine. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I'm not. There was I think it had the best brisket in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and
okay.
the number 3 voted number 3 barbecue in Dallas Fort Worth.
Nice.
All I know is when we came in, we were trying to figure out what to get. The guy sliced off about a half pound of brisket for us to chew on.
Oh,
and I was just
nice.
this is good shit. Listen, New York has a lot of stuff, but good barbecue isn't it? Let's go to BBQs. Oh, let's go to Dallas barbecue. No, barbecue chains are not barbecue food. Really.
It wasn't Cadillac, Sean, because that's over in Carrollton. They didn't go to Cadillac. Cadillac's pretty good, though. How did the food trucks do? The food trucks did really well. They made a lot of money. They were all pretty good. I didn't have the hamburger truck, and everybody says that one was great.
Yeah,
but
they were.
The brunch truck and the Mexican truck were good. I didn't do a lot of eating or drinking after Saturday. So unfortunately, I did not have the trucks that were there Saturday. But yeah, that's something we definitely needed, and we're glad to have the food trucks because the restaurant didn't open until 5, which is messed up. And there's no place to eat around it. There's a Denny's across the street, and that's it. Yep. Now there's a little place about 2 miles away where there's a shopping center with a whole bunch of restaurants in it, but you have to have a car to get there. The shuttle to the hotel will not take you there. They only take you back and forth from the airport, so you're kind of stuck there. So yeah, we really thank all the food truck people. We'll definitely have those guys back next year. But they did really well. The food truck guys were really happy with the money they'd made. What do you recommend for people going first time to DTRPG Con wants to go on 2022? What would I recommend?
Go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, when we get stuff up for tabletop events, when we finally get the page up for 2022, I would definitely sign up as soon as you can. Now, the great thing about North Texas is if you can't go, your membership is rolled over until you can. So you never lose that money. There's no reason not to buy a ticket to North Texas. That money is in the bank for years and years and years, or however long it takes to finally get there. So just sign up. I mean, and then look at the game. You know, the game. I would recommend one thing is don't sign up for games immediately because most of the really good games don't get added till like earlier. You know, later on in the year. You know, there won't be a whole lot of games. You know, at first you might feel like, oh, I have to get this game because it's the only one up there. Wait till like January, February, March, or even later to sign up for games because you want to have a full palette of games there to be able to look over and decide what you want to choose.
Who was your favorite Devilette? I would have to say Jen. Oh, wait, they're both named Jen.
Smart.
Fuck. Yes.
Smart.
I was saving you from any kind of
pain. Thank you for helping me out there. That was a loaded question. Absolutely.
Oh, God. Yes. So here, the inside joke is that both the Devillettes are named Jennifer. So we moved to our midnight auction, which is the highlight of the convention, as everybody knows, highlight of most people's conventions. And we did a little different this year. We did it in the main ballroom so we could fit a ton of people in there without being crammed in there. The one thing that we had a problem with that my wife complained about was that with everybody being level seated, if you're in the back, you couldn't see anything. And we're going to have to figure out something to do that. We may have to have an elevated stage, you know, something next year because they said they couldn't see us up front because it wasn't tiered. But yes, Satan made his triumphant comeback. The Devillettes were there. Gary was there. My loyal goblin henchman, Lloyd Metcalf, was there. I had a microphone and a speaker this time, Eric. I didn't have to lose my voice and scream over people. I got nervous at first.
Hello. Yeah, it was great.
When the music was playing, I was like, oh, this doesn't sound like it's going to be a good sound system. Then it came out. I was like, oh, wait, Mike sounds damn near perfect. And just so you know, there are in the chat, and of course, at least, actually, I guess your brother and the two of us show that you don't, the less self-respect you have, the more fun you're going to have at North Texas. All right. So, Kurt Gould was technically the butt of the joke, but really what it is, it's a hazing to get into the inner circle of North Texas.
Oh, yeah.
So, Kurt is now part of that club.
So we have a standing joke that every year that somebody left something behind the year before. So we have a bag. We pull things out of the bag, and they end up embarrassing one person in the crowd because then we reveal it's that person. And there's always some kind of a journal in there, and then I read out of it. Of course, it's really goofy, embarrassing things. And as you read the journal, you realize who we're making fun of, and so then we always have a big reveal. And so this year it was Kurt Gould, and we had he works for WotC, so we had a WotC's insider journal, and we had all these hilarious things like we need to fire Weiss and Hickman. What have they done for us lately? I mean, just basically making fun of WotC of all the stuff they've pulled the last year and a half or so. That is true, James. My favorite devil would be B. Arthur. I feel sad we can't get her. But no, we had a great time. That was good. Eric wore a crab outfit.
If you really want, there is video of this on Rachel's phone. I'm sure I can find a way to put it up on YouTube. But I'd have to find a way to edit out Rob.
Oh, because our joke was we were going to auction off a costume, and instead of Eric walking out, my brother walked out in a Speedo. So that was disturbing on many levels, multiple levels. And but you know what? That's what I'm here for. That's what Satan's there for, is to disturb people. And so I'm happy I was able to do that. And we had a few pretty good jokes. We had a copy of Tancred, which is a very common Judges Guild module. It's not very good. It's a traveler module for Judges Guild. Came out in the early 80s. And Ian McCarty had it signed by pretty much damn near everyone at the convention, including a few people that really weren't at the convention who he forged their names on there. And that ended up going for like $300, which immediately made it the most valuable Tancred in existence, because these things usually go for like $1 if you see them. For sale.
And that's a lot. But now it's a unique part of the memorabilia. And yes, Eric and I in the back room, very uncomfortable for Bob.
For me. What did you do, Eric? You must have made a comment there. We were both commenting on, obviously you're the one who has to worry about self-esteem. Yeah, about to say, there was no self-esteem in that room, in that changing room. Not only that, you were actually in the hallway, so there's definitely no self-esteem. Anybody kind of walked by, right?
No, we had a room. I did find a room around the corner. I did find a room. By the way, we should probably give away the other 100. So.
You what are we looking at? What numbers?
Same dice, 26 or less.
All right. No, just for this. 11.
Timothy Johnson.
Oh, Tim Johnson, $100. Nice. At least it wasn't Zach. Ugh, I hate giving that guy money. Adonis-like. Yeah, I like the way James is in here making all these comments, and so he didn't come though. That's the whole thing. He didn't come to the convention, but so it's I'm sensing all these comments James are making. He's actually crying inside as he laughs on the outside. Tears of this is tears of a clown, man. This poor guy wishes he could have come. Tim Johnson, and we want you back too. We want you back, James. You need to come again.
Yes. Tim Johnson, email me at Tenkar's Tavern.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Timothy.
At gmail.com.
Nice.
And or on Facebook, whatever works out best for you. Eric Tenkar on Facebook.
All right, there we go.
So that means we got 250 left, and we'll give that away as we're wrapping up. We still got ways to go here. Yeah, that's the main wad. We'll wait to the end.
We're gonna shoot our wad at the end, folks. Don't worry. You can be here to see it too.
We've just been working our way up to it. That's
so midnight. By the way, I don't know if I told you this, Eric, but midnight auction. We made $5,000 in the midnight auction.
Really?
Now let me explain about the midnight auction. It's garbage for the most part. It really is. It's just trash. So people will bid on trash just to give us money. I mean, like $500 for a paperback that's crappy pay. I mean, just crazy prices. So people were really overpaying for just some absolutely ludicrous, ridiculous stuff. And so that was great. $5,000 is amazing for the midnight auction. I think the most we've ever made in the midnight auction has been $2,000. So yeah, that was wonderful. So all in all, the auction's raised over $25,000, and we really need that money for the convention, especially with Doug in the hospital right now and just not doing very well. This helps. This so he doesn't have to dip into his personal funds to help pay for the con. And he's gonna need that money. No matter how good your insurance is, you're gonna get dinged by the hospitals. That's the way American healthcare is, sadly. So yes, we were so glad at the outpouring of generosity. I mean, some of the bids were ridiculous because some of the bids. I mean, let's face it, Eric. You probably agree with me here. They were just dick measuring contests, right?
That's God. Listen,
absolutely.
I don't think it's a secret to anybody at the con. A lot of people were in their cups for the midnight auction.
Oh yeah, because Doug. This is part of Doug's genius. Doug arranged for there to be a bartender and a wet bar in the back of the midnight auction room, and we opened up 30 minutes early. So boom, boom, boom. Yeah, those guys were getting after it in the auction.
Jim Kitchen had this full bottle he started with and kept on filling people up, and you want more. I mean, and he was projecting his voice. It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah, Mark, I wonder why Mark Greenberg was making terrible bids, and then I talked to him after. I was like, oh, you're loaded. No wonder.
Yeah,
so Jim was loaded.
Jim Kitchen
Mark
probably
was
got him
loaded.
loaded.
Oh yeah,
I got loaded up by your heckler, by the way, I should say. Not just any heckler, but your Wednesday night heckler. It's like, oh, well, you were talking about Prepper 12.
Who was my heckler at the con? I mean, at the midnight auction? I had several, but I shut them down.
Not the midnight auction. On Wednesday night's Talking Crit. Who was your heckler?
Oh, my heckler was
Jason.
Yes, Jason Braun was. He's always my heckler though.
So he brought the Prepper 12. And I also went. So I forgot about this too. So then I also went back and I got more from the server in the back. Best thing about that was, at least when I left, there was nothing available. There was no more liquor.
No,
it was done.
Let me tell you, the con is not necessarily about drinking, but if you ever go to North Texas and you like to drink whiskey or scotch, you will be well taken care of. And I'm saying there's people there. They bring $100 bottles of whiskey, so you will get some good stuff there. Now, we do not condone excess drinking in any way, shape, or form. But if you can hold your liquor and you like to taste some, I mean, there's guys there. We've got this whole group now that come to the con, and they all bring a bottle of whiskey for everybody else to try. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, if you like to drink, you will be invited into the inner circles, and you will get to imbibe some very delicious different kinds of whiskey and scotch. Beer too. We have guys that bring a craft beer. They'll bring some craft beer. Sadly, Austin Jim doesn't come to the con anymore because he moved to Kentucky. But he used to brew up beer every year, craft beer. So, but yeah, we still have people that. How about Rachel's tattoo? That was great. Yeah, Rachel got tattooed during the midnight auction. That was awesome, by the way. That was good.
It was a temporary tattoo, and she would have worn it as a tramp stamp, but was afraid I would be upset. My mindset was, I'm fucking bidding on a tattoo at a midnight auction. I expect the tramp stamp. And I think Jim Kirsten was very upset that it didn't happen.
I think every man in the audience was upset that it didn't happen because we all wanted to see Rachel show the tramp stamp. Boom. That'd have been awesome. No, that was funny. Yeah, so we had to take her out of the room and I swear I thought she was going to come in with a tramp stamp, Eric. I thought that would have been hilarious. But no, she put it on her wrist. She played it safe. And so that was funny just because I kept thinking, oh my God, she's going to come out with that thing on her back. I just know that thing's going to be on her back. But we had a good time. Everything worked great. I'd like to thank my friend Doug Preuss, who finally let us enter the 21st century by actually bringing a microphone and a speaker. And that made a lot of difference there because I yell myself hoarse during the midnight auction most years. And so I was able to make funny sound effects. I was able to play music off my iPad. I mean, this is how cheap it was. I had my iPad and I had the speaker stuck up to the iPad to play music. So, it wasn't very fancy, but it worked. And we had a great time. And then Kurt, so every year we get somebody. We got Kurt at the end, and we had a giant poster of the first edition handbook cover with Kurt Gould's head as the idol. That was nightmare fuel.
God.
That was absolute nightmare fuel. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to forget that.
When I was looking at it and I'm going, my God, I know the face, but it took me a few seconds to realize it was Kurt. And I'm like, this is really fucking scary. And then, oh my God, it's Kurt. So...
Yeah, it was both. Yeah, it was actually very fucking scary. Yeah, somebody came up to me afterwards and said, "Man, that poster of Kurt was nightmare fuel." I go, "I know, wasn't it? It just looked really weird. It looked creepy." James said, "Genuinely regretted not being able to make it. That's the last only time you ever get a sincere remark about me. I'm glad you could make that at least one sincere remark in your life." And I want you to know that, I'm always thinking about you, James, when I'm sitting at this desk. And I look at the Golden Girls Dorothy Pop Funko that you got for me. I think about you all the time. I also think about you when I take a dump, like a really bad dump. I think about you sometimes too. So, but yeah, so that was Saturday night was great. Like I said, this is different for me because I did not drink anything Saturday night on. I just couldn't trust my stomach. So I went to the bar and kind of hung out with people, but I was not drinking. And we, it's cool. You go to the bar there and, it's not like your regular bar anywhere because unless your regular bar has Alan Hammock over here and Zeb Cook over here and, all these superstars from, TSR Days Past all around you. But it's great talking to those guys and just, Look, if you go to one of these conventions like this, not just us, but your Gary Con also, you're going to hear a lot of stories that you've never heard before and probably should never tell anybody because these guys will be very candid with you about stuff when they're at the bar and had a couple of drinks. So I highly recommend attending a con like this and just sit next to one of these legends of the game and just seeing where the conversation takes you.
Yeah. We always talk about the fact that North Texas has probably the greatest or the most accommodating ratio of special guests to attend convention goers of any of the major cons. Really, you probably have as many special guests at North Texas as you do at Gary Con.
Yeah,
in all honesty, and they're much more approachable, accessible. They're happy to sign your shit. There's not an entourage following around behind anybody.
This year it was actually very lucky. This year we only had 2 special guests cancel. Sometimes we have more than that. Steve Perrin couldn't be there because of his wife, and then Dr. Scott Robinson couldn't be there because of his wife, and Steve Perrin couldn't be there because he had illness. But we had everybody show up, and the special guests. This is no lie. I didn't even tell you this, Eric. Darlene hugged me 3 times during the convention. Because she just said, I'm just so happy to be here. And because she missed everybody so much. So, yeah, I mean, there's no greater thrill than seeing the first lady of gaming maps, giving you a really seedy hug. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, And I love Darlene. It was just great. That's the attitude. Everybody was so happy to be there. The special guests, because, you got to look at these special guests. A lot of them, they're older than we are. So, we're talking. They're in their 60s. Most of them are in their 60s, the older ones, or maybe a little older, like Dr. Sestera. He's in his 70s, and they don't have a whole lot of conventions left necessarily. Every year they miss a convention, like last year is one less year they get to interact with their fans and get to talk to people and spread their stories out and everything. And so, yeah, I mean, they love to go to these things. They love to sign stuff. They love to talk about the old days. And they were you could tell how happy they all were to get back. Actually, I think Chris Clark hugged me 3 times too. But I'd rather think about Darlene hugging me 3 times than Chris.
Chris is Chris. Come on.
Yeah, no, yeah, he kind of humps your leg a little. It's kind of creepy. So
yeah, well, again, Chris is Chris. So,
but yeah, so yeah, it was just so fun to see everybody and to be back in the whole convention mode. There was some mask wearing there, but most people did not wear masks. We did not require them because it was first of all, Texas won't let you check cards anyway. But most people I talked to I talked to a lot of people. I would say 90% have had their vaccination. There was a few people I talked to that said, no, I didn't get my shot. Is that okay? I'm like, considering 90% of the people here have, and they're not sick because we did have a thermometer on, but nobody was sick. Nobody had any issues. Like, yeah, you better take my temperature, see what's going on here, and we didn't have any issues with any of that.
Take my temperature, Mike. Use your finger in my. Never mind.
Yeah, don't say that because now James is going to come because I know James probably wants a rectal thermometer. I'm not doing that.
Oral, rectal, oral, rectal. No.
And what Roar says, right? Dennis is super interesting. These guys are cool. I mean, Dennis Astier was an aeronautical engineer. I mean, he worked on fucking space rockets that went to. I mean, this guy is amazing. And besides creating the Druid character and Buddies and Burrows, this guy's like a certified genius. So talking to these guys is just so interesting and informative. I mean, I always learn something new about Alan Hammock every time, even though I consider him a good buddy. He's also an actor. He's acted a lot, and he goes on these vacations where these famous actors and actresses go, and you get to hang out with them. And he was telling me about the one he went to with the Babylon 5 actors and actresses. I was like, what?
Oh, shit.
They got to hang out. And then one of them, I can't remember the name. The girl who was the psychic girl in Babylon 5, or the girl was lady, and they got to be good friends, Alan and his wife, and she invited him back to her Hawaii hot tub apartment, and they hung out. I mean, like, what the hell? I never heard of these trips where you get to go hang out with Hollywood stars. So that was cool. I mean, you learn, like I said, you just learn all kinds of things about these guys. And like I said, Alan always pulls something that just shocks me because he's done so much, that you're like, what? You did that? And he's like, oh yeah, I did this and that. And the rest of them are like that too. And I mean, Chris Clark, he is a absolute gearhead when it comes to cars. If you want to talk cars, this dude will. And by the way, Chris handed out copies of his Kickstarter. The Inner City Games Kickstarter. It looks awesome. I've already been flipping through it. I think I want to run a game in it, Eric. It looks pretty damn cool. And that was the one he was pimping back in February when he came on our show with the Total Con.
Yeah.
But he's already got it out. He was handing them out there. That was awesome. Gosh, who else? I feel like I'm not mentioning somebody that we should just talk about everybody because there's so many. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who I didn't get to talk to this time because there's always people every year that you just don't get to talk to. I did not get to talk to Merle Rasmussen. I said hi to him once, and that was it. That was my entire communication with Merle Rasmussen, which really sucked. I didn't get him to sign anything. I didn't get him to say hi, anything. So that kind of blew. I like Merle. Merle's a fun guy.
You would think not working the table, not playing too many games, I'd have socialized with more people, but I was socializing constantly. But again, there's just so many, you can only do so much. And there was a large number of new attendees, people that was their first con, or their first North Texas, or their first con, and as an adult, they hadn't gone since they were a teenager. And I was like, wow. And for them, I was happy at the feedback that this was an amazing experience. It was like they felt so welcomed, and a lot of them were expecting to be treated as outsiders, I guess. And North Texas doesn't do that.
No, really. You are part of the family. Once you show up, man, you're absolutely part of the family.
So, I thought that was really amazing. And on Sunday, you and I got interviewed by Aaron the Pedantic.
Yeah, that was cool. Like I said, that guy he's got such a great radio voice, man. I tell you, that's the voice I wish I had for radio. Oh, well, I wish I had this voice. Hello, I can talk this low, and it sounds awesome. Now, that's the first voice I wish I had. But if I didn't have a radio voice, I'd like to have Aaron's voice. Yeah. His stuff is, I mean, he sounds really, he's got a great interview style. I love his style. I love it. I mean, he always asks really interesting questions, not bullshit. Yeah. Like, okay, I mean, this is a question everybody always asks you type of question. No, it's always really interesting. And there's some people that are just really good at that. I mean, like Glenn, I think Glenn's really good. Glenn's got kind of that radio voice down here.
Well, yes, radio Glenn.
Yeah. And so those kind of people always impress me because that's God-given talent. That really is. You can't make that happen. You either have that stuff or you don't. Eric and I don't have that stuff, but we do as best we can. We do the best we can. But there's guys like Aaron and Glenn and those guys that they can do that. So yeah, that was fun. Got to do him and his wife. That we had interviewed actually lasted a lot longer than I thought because we were just having so much fun talking and just hanging out with those two. And then what else do we do? Sunday's always your wrap up day. Everybody's leaving, so it sucks because you got people, you're not going to be able to see them again for a year, or maybe, they might be a game hole later, or, Gen Con or something. So Sunday to me has always kind of sucked. I last few years, I've been making sure that I have my hotel room through Sunday night, because I don't like to leave Sunday. I like to
Monday,
do the relaxing thing. Yeah, leave Monday when the flights aren't as bad, and I don't. You and I don't have to go to jobs, work. You and I, so there's no reason. Yeah, we could stay there and hang out, and so that's what we did. We hung out Sunday night and just had just relaxed, and I can't remember what y'all guys went. We played some VR down in the ballroom. That was pretty fun.
What we did was...
you did too? You were there. Oh, you Ty and Zach all did the VR stuff.
We did Demio, which is a VR fantasy board game. It's actually pretty cool. I think if they get to the point where you can design your own boards, it'll become more D&D like. Mm-hmm. But time will tell. It was a lot of fun.
You guys are having a good time. You're having a really good time there. That's kind of cool because Sunday night we were kind of in the ballroom there, and everything was kind of picked up. So Ty and Zach and Eric were doing that with their headsets on, doing this thing, whatever. And so I walked over to the other side of the room. It was Keelan, the artist kid, is great guy from Alaska. Matt Finch. Who else is there? I mean, so I was like going back and forth through these two conversations, listen to you knuckleheads play your game, and then going back over and listen to, the great Matt Finch talk about how awesome, I mean, anything Matt Finch talks about, I like to listen to because it's always something interesting. And I have a lot of fun on Sunday nights. So that's your wind down night, and you just get to just chill and think about how everything went. And I tell you what, I didn't tell you this, Eric. This is something that I didn't tell you. My entire family was at this con. So I worked the con with my grandson, my oldest grandson Jake. And for those of us who don't know, he was born when I was 40. So we grew up together. Basically, he's my best friend. My grandson's my best friend. We do everything together. We love each other. We just talk. I mean, we talk nearly every day on the phone. And so he got to do the con with me. He was all excited because he got a percentage of the money. So he was there. And then my granddaughter showed up the next day with my wife. And then I was walking down the hall later that day, and my two youngest grandsons, and my a younger daughter and her husband were there. I didn't even know that. I was like, you guys are here? Like, oh yeah. So the little baby that was just born in January was there. And then Joel's 10, so he's not my second youngest. They were there. So I got to see them. It was great. Then the next day, my other daughter came with my 1-year-old grandson and her husband.
Wow.
And they had never been to the con because they've been in Japan the last 8 years. He's an ex-Marine. He was stationed there. He just retired last year. And so I got to see them there. So, I mean, it was cool because that's probably the most family I've ever had at a con. And, years past, they wouldn't even come to the con. I had my con. I'm like, yeah, whatever. We're not going to come. But it was so great that they're all part of the con this year. And that leads into my other thing is I think a big reason was families are a big player in cons today, especially kids. Kids, there was kids everywhere at North Texas. And the first few we put on, there was no kids. There were no kids. Very few women. It was mostly your standard gamer, old fat white guy. And as time has gone on, I think this is very good for conventions that you have a lot of younger people going, a lot more families going. I think that's awesome.
There were teens and 20-somethings, and they were forming their own groups. And I was like, this is good because they make those connections. They're going to want to come back. And let's be honest, that's the future of gaming, is the next generation.
Right.
The oldest generation is obviously getting older. Now, then you have our generation, which at some point will be the oldest generation. So we need that new blood into the hobby if it's going to survive.
Yeah.
The OSR needs young gamers.
And that's the cool thing too is yes, 5e is the 500-pound gorilla. But man, a lot of these young kids were playing old school games because old school games are very easy to run and very easy to play. And kids don't care. They're not rules lawyers. They're not picky about what rules they're playing. They just want to play, have fun. And I was very encouraged to see a couple of tables. I know I walked past one table, and Casey Christopherson's daughter Ainsley, who I absolutely adore, she was running the game, and Skeeter's 2 kids were there, and there was a couple other kids there, and then Casey was there, and I just thought, that is so awesome. They're playing old school D&D. They were not playing 5e. They were playing old school, which is great. And so it was kids and spouses were a huge player, and I am happy to see that. I like it when the hobby opens up like that, and man, it was a very diverse convention, Eric. It was really cool. I mean,
Yes.
It wasn't just old white dudes anymore at all. There was a lot of different skinned people and a lot of different sexes, and I mean, we had a little bit of everything. That was great.
I mean, I think my first con was, I don't know, 2013, 2014. And Rach going with me as a couple was a rarity. I mean, most gamers weren't bringing their spouse, and most gamers were men. Mm-hmm. And I actually think that, Rach going every year and just saying, hey, spouses can have fun too. Frog God now doing their pretty much their yearly all women's session, usually on like a Sunday morning.
Oh yeah, they had the all women's game on Sunday morning. My wife was in that too, and she had a great time. She loved it. She won't play D&D. She won't play D&D with me, but she'll play with the other women. So if that gets you in the door, that's great. If that's the way you have to, play, that's awesome. How many different sections were at the con? Well, a lot. Well, plenty. As many as there are, I guess.
Sexes or genders. I mean,
that's different. There's 2 sexes, but genders are. Well, Janelle and her wife Becky were there, and they're probably 2 of the most famous trans people in our hobby. So, we were well represented on every single angle. So, we don't care. Just come and have fun and game. We do not care at all. What your sex or gender or whatever is. Just come and roll some dice.
Yeah.
The old woman's game was a lot of fun. My wife told me about it. It was, she said it was really disturbing to watch some of the housewives, how violent they were.
I'm not surprised. I've heard the stories of Jen Glazer, and I'm married to Rach. Yeah. And when the few times I've used the C word is because I can always go, she taught me it. It's like she curses like an Irish woman. So God bless.
So that was fun. So yeah, we had a great. It was a great day, and a great convention. That was. I think we might have made money this year. If nothing else, we're going to break even. Now we don't know until all the rules all the stuff's added up, because there's always expenses you don't remember or realize, and I think Doug will be really proud of us when he's able to get up and around and start looking at. And he's already been looking at all the comments, And we also had a camera, one of the rooms where you could record a message to Doug, and I think he's going to really, really enjoy those messages, because there were a lot of those are really from the heart. People were just really. I mean, this convention would not be where it is without him. He's had some great ideas over the years. He's been willing to bankroll this thing when it was making no money.
Yeah.
And it was it just sucked he couldn't be there. A month either way, and he could have probably been there. If he got sick early in the year, if he got sick 2 weeks from now, it'd have been great. But it just so happened it was right the week we had the convention, so he had to have emergency surgery. It just really sucked because it was. I think he's still in the ICU now. He had another surgery Saturday because he had a little bit of infection the first time, and it is what it is. Apparently it's gonna help him live longer, because they took all of his tumor out from his cancer, and so tumor's gonna have to grow back. So they've got a little bit of lead time there now by taking it all out. If he's taking chemo, it might grow back really, really slow. So they're very, very optimistic. If he can just recover, he should be in pretty good shape for the next few years.
I keep on scratching my nose because allergies are killing me today.
Yeah, you seem like you're pretty puffy eyed there.
Yeah. Oh, I woke up and I was like, I heard that smoke voice. It's like, oh my God, it's all in my throat. And I was able to go, oh geez, I'm not dying. It's just post-nasal drip.
Do we have just one? Do we have just one prize left to give away, or two?
One prize.
Okay. Let's just keep it. Well, then we're not gonna give it away yet. Well, it's 8:45. We could. You want to wait another 10 minutes, or
no? We could do it now and then do a little bit of a wrap up.
Yeah, because we got 20. We could do about another 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. We got a little.
Yeah.
If you, by the way, if anybody here wants to ask any questions about the con, go ahead and ask us, because we probably missed a half a dozen things.
Or more.
Yeah, or more. And I know I'll remember them the minute we sign off. But if you have any questions about any part of the con, the dealers or just anything, ask us a question.
No, it's not con crud. Listen, I had fucking con crud last year. All right, got con crud at Total Con to the point where I would walk like 50 feet and I had to catch my breath. And I went to the urgent care, upper respiratory infection, viral. Drink plenty of fluids and plenty of rest. Progressed to pneumonia, sepsis, set off congestive heart failure. I had that kind of 2020. I didn't need fucking COVID.
Well, one good thing about post-COVID is that everybody is so much more aware of being clean now. Everybody was just going to the bathroom, washing their hands all the time. We give away little bottles of Purell and at the con, and I'm just constantly wiping my hands all the time. So is everybody else. So there's probably less chance of con crud now in the future than there ever has been in con history, because everybody is very aware of. We had a lot of people. Not a lot. We had some people wearing masks.
Yeah, some.
Because they're.
We had people that started with masks, and as the days went on, they took their masks off. Like, fuck this shit, I'm not wearing it anymore.
Yeah.
But,
some people have, they have bad immune systems. That's great that the mask is now an option for them. Yeah, that's wonderful. And so,
And your North Texas bag came with a mask.
A free mask.
I looked in there and I was like, oh, look at that. We got 2 dice bags. I don't know why, but okay. And I was oh, it's a mask.
Yeah, I think I have one here.
Or I got one for your privates.
Here's one from last year. It's the same concept. It had the logo on. By the way, Raven Metcalf, Lloyd's daughter, did the logo, and people were just crazy about it. They loved her interpretation of the. She had made a fairy dragon, I think, and so she's the only 2 artists we've had up to. Well, we had Jason Braun did our first 2 years, and then Janelle did the rest. But then we also had last couple of years, Lloyd did one, and Diesel did one, and then of course we had the 10th anniversary year when we had 10 different artists do them. But I think Ravens was one of the best received we've ever had. She was, people were just going nuts over her logo. So thank you so much, Raven. You did a great job with that.
So there was no 3 Castles Award this year.
No 3 Castles Award because we only had, because of COVID, I don't know what y'all were doing at home, but you weren't working on games. We only had 3 entries, and we decided, Doug and I decided that was not representative of the hobby, so we just rolled them over to next year. We got 3 next year, and we're going to do it again this year. And I've already seen some really good stuff come out this year, so I'm very hopeful we'll have a really much better 3 Castles Award next year.
What did Matt Finch run at the con? I have no clue.
What did what?
Matt Finch run.
He ran. I think he usually runs. Mithras Tower. But I think he ran that plus something different, and I don't remember what the second one was. But I think he did the Mithras Tower and something else. Yeah, Robert bought some. Raven was there actually selling artwork, and I've told Lloyd this, and he knows it. He better watch out, man. His daughter's a better artist than she is. She is absolutely incredible. I mean, her stuff is mind-boggling.
She's only getting better.
Yeah, and she's only 21, 22 years old. So
there was BattleTech, and there was BattleTech and Booze.
They had some war. They had some war games. There was a
the chariot racing.
Yeah, terrorist. There was Techumil. There was a war game based on the world of Techumil. There was Steve Winter did Boot Hill. I guess that's still RPG. But yeah, there was some other stuff there. Oh yeah, the BattleTech. There was 2 nights of BattleTech. Man, those guys are serious about their BattleTech. They had that going into the wee hours of the morning. Man, they were all into that.
Lots of good booze. I had some of their booze.
BattleTech and Booze, yeah, they had a full giant table. Yeah, by the time they get through the BattleTech game, nobody knows what's going on. They have no clue what's going on. None of those guys. I've seen them stumble to the rooms later on. But yeah, they have a lot of fun with that game. It's the same kind of group that does it every year, and they really get into it. But yeah, I'll tell you what's interesting, Eric, is that we have board games, but nobody ever plays the board games there. There's so much good RPG stuff going on that nobody bothers to really get out, the board games we have. So this year I only brought 2 of them. I brought Lords of Waterdeep and Ticket to Ride, and nobody played. Nobody even opened the box the whole time. So yeah, we're definitely not a tabletop board game convention. We're definitely a RPG convention.
Yep.
It's too bad too. Oh yeah, Alien. Rob's right. We had the Aliens game. I forgot about the Aliens game.
Yeah.
We always have that's an annual thing. Yeah. Not only do we have Boot Hill, we had 2 games of Boot Hill. Alan Hammock ran one, and Steve Winter ran one. So that we may be the only convention on the North American continent or the world that has not 1 but 2 Boot Hill games every year, which is cool.
I would say you're probably the only one.
Yeah, I think so. Well, we're probably the only one that has Buddies and Burrows too. Dennis Astaire ran Buddies and Burrows on Friday, so that's pretty cool. We have a lot of really oddball, off the grid, weirdo kind of games go on. I mean, somebody ran Torg. Torg? When's the last time somebody ran Torg? And somebody, apparently whoever's there, they're going to restart Torg this year or next year. So they were running Torg games. I mean, we had Shadowrun. What else did I know that was happening? That was going on. A lot of traditional D&D games. Oh, Top Secret. There was Top Secret games. Gamma World. There was Gamma World games. No Star Frontier this year. And Star Frontier is a system everybody seems to like, but nobody wants to run. Nobody wants to run it, but everybody likes it. What else was run there? I don't remember. But yeah, there's a pretty eclectic. Oh, they did the Computer Artemis thing, which is kind of cool, where you do they have one. We have one room set up. It's all computers, and you get in front of the laptop, and you're basically piloting a spaceship. That's pretty cool. Do we have Oriental Adventures, Rob? I don't remember anybody running Oriental Adventures. Did Zeb run that? Maybe Zeb ran that. Yeah, so there's a lot of things. I mean, there's just so much going on there all the time. Oh, DCC, we had a whole DCC track there. People run DCC games. Chris Clark always runs his crazy games. He has some really fun kind of, not really board games, those kind of little pocket games he publishes. He'll run that. Although he might have run Intercity this year. I'm not sure exactly what Chris ran. Anything else you can remember that people were running, Eric, that I can't? Offhand,
no, because I was too busy socializing. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we did a lot of schmoozing and talking this year, Eric and I. I didn't do any gaming at all, running or playing. And although I think I'm going to go back to B1 next year, I had a lot of people ask about it, and I realized it's not about me. It's about the crowd. So I think I'm gonna pull that out of my bag of tricks next year, because people were really asking about it. I felt bad about not running it. Cool. Carolyn, well, I've ran it so many years. I ran it like 8 or 9 years. Everybody's got great memories. I saw some people posting online some memories they had of past B1 games. I was like, yeah, we did have a pretty good time. So I'm going to bring that. I'll bring that back next year. Oh, the dinosaur tournament. Yes, we had dinosaur wrestling. Ben Burns' great dinosaur wrestling game, which is awesome. Or actually, it's not really wrestling. It's dinosaur battle to the death. Was what it boils down to. And so, yeah, that was fun. They actually have a trophy they gave away and everything. Bill Barsh had a tournament. He ran. I think he said it was the most people that ever played the tournament this year. He had 4 different groups that all ran the same adventure. And he times it and then sees where they are. It's kind of like one of the old-fashioned TSR tournaments. It's timed, and then you see how much where you've gotten to in the adventure by the end of the time limit. So he ran that. Nice. Yeah. There's always some really oddball stuff sometimes. Never been in a B1 game, Bob. That is why I started running B1 there 8 years ago or 9 years ago, because I heard so many people that they had not played. I'm like, you gotta be kidding, man! It's the best adventure ever written for D&D. And so I said, I'm gonna start running this at cons, and it's worked out pretty good.
Well, Mike, shall we have at it?
Let's do it. This is the for how much is this one for? 250?
250 to 200.
And if you've already won, you can't win. So Zach, get off. You can't win now. You've already won.
Wait, you want to get Zach off?
No, I just want him out of my life. 26. You said we can't do anything past 26.
Guess what? Guess who you just gave money to?
Who?
Jen.
Jen Glazer?
Yes.
You gotta be
here.
careful.
Hold on. No, I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna show you. Hold on. If I can get the thing. I can't. It won't show. Hold on. Maybe I can.
So the Glazers took home $350 worth of prizes.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm gonna turn off the green screen for a second here. All right.
Jen, are you still here, Jen? Is Jen still here?
All right. So, Jen
is
Glazer,
26.
Okay.
The fix is in. The fix was in.
So see, Zach had lucky number 13.
Look how fast he wrote those up. So we could slip the Glazers some prizes. I wanted to see if Jen really wanted her prize or not, because I know she's not really a gamer. I'm not sure if she knows what she's going to do with that. I guess she could give it to her husband, who would then.
Or she could cash it out for $3 and come out with $297.
Nah, that family's rich. They don't need any money. They got lots of money. So, Jen, you won the prize. You won the big prize. Congratulations for being at the con and for being my mom. You and Kendra were my moms this year, because I was sick and they took care of me. She and Rocky's wife Kendra, they both took care of me. Rocky's wife made me drink water, maybe drink, and Jen gave me.
She had you on a schedule. Drink.
I know. Drink. Yeah. We'd be in the middle of doing something. You hear drink. I have to drink my water. So, but it helped because when you're sick, really hydration's the best way to go. Right. So yes, it did help quite a bit. So thanks to those two ladies, and they helped me out a lot when I was not feeling very good at all. So I'm gonna tell. I bet she's probably watching soap operas right now.
Probably, whatever the hell's on TV on a Wednesday night. I don't even know anymore.
I'm making fun of her. She doesn't do that kind of stuff. So yes, well that was So what are we standing right now subscription wise?
Let's go to the videotape. Analytics has us at 509 subscribers. So our next big spot will be 1,000. 1,000, I will do at least the same. Give away at least another 500. It's fun. I like having an excuse to give away money. So
it is fun to give away money.
And it's the community's money anyways. This is the money that you all generate and you use the Tavern's drive-through RPG affiliate. That's what this money is coming from. Why not give it back? Right. Do I use some of it? Sure. I'll buy something. I think, I wouldn't normally, but yeah. But at the same time, this is great. And it's going to go with the fun projects I got coming up. But again, yes, we broke 500, 509.
Wow.
Let's get to 1,000 before the end of the year.
We did have a funny moment at the con when Eric announced we broke 500. We're all so happy. And And the next day we lost 2 people. We're down to 498. It's
like, what the hell?
Damn it.
And I was like, we're back at 5. When we got to 504, I was like, all right, I think I'm confident enough that we're going to be doing this. Harnmaster? I can't do Harnmaster, Bruce.
Oh, my gosh. I love
Harn setting, but my players didn't because it was just too damn realistic. I was like, you die of dysentery. No, thank you. I'd rather not.
Robert said I wasted the last 2 hours with you hacks. No, yes, you did, which is pretty funny. I think it's hilarious you had to waste time listening to Eric and I. That's torture for you, I know, so that's pretty hilarious. I think that's awesome. I love wasting Robert's time.
Oh, by the way, Bruce, you can't buy Rises anymore. It was sold.
Oh, no, really?
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so, yes, Rice is the game that is free to write for, I think. And it's free to purchase, so you don't purchase it. and had Kickstarter debt, sold with the debt attached to it. So yes, you owe $300 to $3,000 worth of Kickstarter obligations because that's how your math is figured out for Kickstarter obligations. Take the base number and roll a d10. Multiply. You're fine.
Right, we need Rice's Far West. That was a good one, John. Thank you. A far West version. Yes, we definitely need that. We're missing that in our lives.
I don't know. I don't know how much I'm missing that, but
hey, Far West is a great idea. Just terrible execution because the guy was a bum. But other than that, it was a good idea.
A follow-up video on the sale of Rices. I don't. Maybe if I get liquored up enough, we'll see. I don't know if I have enough in me otherwise.
Oh man, well we had a great convention. We had so much fun,
yes.
and all the weeks leading up, we had the guests were awesome. I loved that. I had so much fun. I don't know what we're gonna do after this. I think we're just gonna retire, right? We're not doing any. Is this the last show, or we got more? You think we got any more shows coming up?
It's the last North Texas RPG Con theme show until 2022.
Until next year. Okay, I don't want the Whataburger sucks stuff. I'm going to start kicking ass in here. I don't want to hear this. This is what Jack's. No, those are terrible restaurants. Pals. No, yeah. Next year we tell me Five Guys is great. Five Guys is awful. I can't even eat their greasy garbage. No, stop this. We're going to stop ripping on my hamburger joints. So just
poke the bear.
Although the best hamburger joint in Texas is not a chain, it's a place called Kincaid's. There's two or three of them. That's the best hamburger in DFW. But other than that, yeah, I don't want to hear your crappy burger opinions, you guys. You don't know what you're talking about.
White Castles. You need the belly button.
Oh, White Castles. Yeah, if you want to clear yourself out, that's White Castles is awesome, man.
Yeah, it's like I got to weigh in. A few White Castles. Come on, some cheese fries.
White Castle is interesting. It's one of the places like if you hadn't been there a while, you're kind of like, man, I'd like to have White Castles. And then you go have White Castles, and you're like, I don't want another White Castles for like 2 weeks or longer. You're like, oh,
I can go a year, but then I'll forget, and I'll be like,
oh, yeah, White Castles.
I need a sack of cheeseburgers. Oh, with bacon. Oh, yeah, and the sack of fries with the cheese. And then afterwards, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to get sick, but I wish I would.
See, here's what gets you about White Castles. If you could just eat like 2 or maybe even 1, it would be great. And then just walk away and you just go do whatever. The problem is they come in their damn sacks of them. So you got to have like, you pound down like 5 of them. And then you're like, oh.
They look like, little itty bitty things otherwise.
Yeah, but one or 2 bites, you're fine. White Castle.
Well, folks, thank you so much. I mean, a huge thank you to everybody I met at the con and took time out of their con experience to go, I know that fucking voice.
Yeah, we really
had that a few times too.
We had a great time. It was really cool to have people that knew me from Talking Crit. I'm like, wow, so we're really doing something with Talking Crit if people know who we are now.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. People are actually starting to realize what we're doing here at Talking Crit and how much fun we're having. And so we love doing this as a labor of love, definitely. We ain't getting paid. We ain't getting paid nothing.
Nothing, no how.
But thanks to everybody that went to the convention, and it was so great seeing everybody there. And I mean, it was one of those things. It's one of those cons where everybody didn't want to leave. They're like, man, I don't want to leave. And then 2 days later, like everybody's like, man, I want to go back next week. It was so much fun. And so, yeah, if you have never been, I don't know what next year holds. I mean, I assume we're going to have a convention, but we don't know. We don't know when's Doug is going to get better. We just don't know anything. So, we'll keep you posted during the year when we might, we're probably going to open up tabletop events again and start taking, reservations for next year, but we don't know right now. We're just gonna wait and see what happens with Doug and then go from there. But yeah, we're definitely gonna have a con next year. We just don't know when we're gonna start, taking people's names, fun stuff like that. But definitely, if there's a con you want to go to and you want to hang out with us idiots and all the idiots we know, it's the best one, really.
I mean, here I'm gonna throw this out there. Assuming that it isn't this last minute thing like this pandemic shit was, kind of like where I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be immunized. But I will make the announcement now. If we hit 1,000 people,
okay, here we go.
For this channel,
Write it down, folks.
In addition to giving away $500 in DTRPG gift certificates, we will figure out a way to do like a Tenkar's Tavern, well, you know, I don't know, 2-hour happy hour for everybody, and I'll foot the bill for, you know, people that aren't Bill Webb. Bill Webb and Jim Kitchen, I can't. I probably could, you know, somebody like Ty Beard will pace himself, but these other guys will drink me out of my fucking money. We'll figure out something, or we'll just get somebody to go out there and buy a lot of alcohol. We'll just take a room over and fucking drink our asses off. That might be more affordable. Maybe I'll have to come out early. Holy shit!
Or maybe, you know.
Yeah, you know, we'll do something that is definitely liquor related and will not cost you beyond your con.
Maybe we could do something if they maybe they could join the whiskey tasting next year if they come.
Oh my god, I don't. Yeah, I don't know how many people have the whiskey tasting. That might be interesting. Whiskey tasting might become a party unto itself. I will discuss this with Chris Stodgill. We will figure out something. We will definitely do something for next year to get more people from this community involved, and some alternatives for those that don't drink. We'll make sure that that's part of it too. But you know, they make non-alcoholic whiskey. Don't ask me.
Oh dear. Oh my.
I'm friends with the Catholic priest who was trying it during Lent because he gave up alcohol for Lent. And I was just like, Tom, I don't know how non-alcoholic whiskey is actually whiskey, but
that's a little weird.
I'll do some sampling and we'll see. All right, folks. On that note, Mike and I, neither one of us are medical professionals, but we are both immunized. Personal choice for both of us. We knew our health risks. We knew what decisions we had to make. We don't live your life. We don't have your health risks. We don't know what your situation is. All I ask is that you use your common sense. Keep yourself, your friends, your loved ones, your family, your community healthy and safe. Be safe, be well. God bless. Knock on wood. I'll be back again tomorrow. Thank you all.
Later, friends.